There are moments in life when the weight of lack feels heavier than any burden you have ever carried. You lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how the bills will be paid, how your family will eat, how your dreams can possibly survive in a world where money seems to slip through your fingers like sand. You smile in public, but deep down the fear gnaws at your soul. You whisper prayers, yet sometimes you wonder if anyone is listening. But let me tell you today, what you are going through is not the end. What you are facing is not your final chapter. There is a hidden law at work in the realm of God's provision, a supernatural principle that shifts the atmosphere of your finances. And once you discover it, nothing will ever be the same again. The world teaches you to chase, to claw, to scramble, to compromise, to fight for every dollar. The world teaches you that the stronger man wins, that the ruthless one gets ahead. But heaven does not operate by the world's economy. There is a law higher than Wall Street, a law more secure than the Federal Reserve, a law unshaken by inflation or crisis. And that law is written into the spiritual DNA of the kingdom. It is the hidden law of finances, the untaught secret of supernatural provision. When you understand this law, money will no longer master you. Instead, resources will respond to your faith. You see, finances are not just numbers on a ledger. Finances are spiritual. Money is not neutral. It carries the spirit of the one who rules it. That is why Jesus said you cannot serve God and mammon. One is a slave master, the other is a father. When you choose the Father, something happens. Heaven takes responsibility for your provision. But here's the secret. Choosing God is not passive. It's not sitting back waiting for checks to fall from the sky. It is aligning with His law, His principle, His word, until what is unseen reshapes what is seen. There was a time in my life when I struggled financially. I knew the promises of God. I read the scriptures, but my pockets remained empty. I prayed, I pleaded, I even cried. And then, in the quiet of my spirit, the Lord whispered something that changed me forever. You don't have a money problem. You have a believing problem. Oh, how those words pierced me. I realized I was asking God to do what He had already provided. I was begging for bread when the table was already set. I was praying for provision when the law of provision was waiting for me to activate it. What is this hidden law? It is this. Your seed creates your harvest, and your words release your future. It is not simply about giving and receiving. It is about aligning your heart, your faith, your confession, and your action with the God who multiplies. Provision is not unlocked by need, it is unlocked by seed. Need has never moved God, but faith always does. You can be drowning in lack, but until you step into faith, faith that acts, faith that sows, faith that speaks, you will stay where you are. Think of the widow in the days of Elijah. She had nothing but a little flour and oil, preparing a final meal for her and her son before death. In the natural, she was finished, but when the prophet spoke the word of the Lord and asked her to give, something radical happened. She obeyed, and the jar never ran dry. Do you see it? Her seed unlocked her supply. Her obedience opened a supernatural flow. That is the law at work. Your act of faith pulls the miraculous out of the unseen realm and into your reality. I can almost hear the cry of some hearts right now. But I have nothing to give. I have no seed to sow. Listen carefully. Everyone has a seed. It may not be money. It may be time. It may be love. It may be the willingness to help another who is struggling. Your seed is what you hold in your hand that can create something greater in your future. If you despise your seed, you cancel your harvest. But when you honor your seed, when you release it with faith, you partner with the God who multiplies. But hear me clearly, this law is not about manipulation. It is not a trick to twist God's arm. It is not a formula of giving $1 to get 10 back. No, it is far deeper. It is about positioning yourself under the flow of divine provision. It is about breaking free from the grip of fear and stepping into the rhythm of faith. It is about declaring with your life, God, you are my source, not my job, not the economy, not the government, not people, you alone. And when you make Him your source, Everything else becomes a channel. Jobs may come and go, businesses may rise and fall, but your source never dries up. Do you know why many people never see supernatural provision? Because they are waiting for a miracle without planting the seed of obedience. They pray, but they don't act. They ask, but they don't align. They want the jar of oil to overflow, but they won't pour it. They want the fish and bread multiplied, but they won't bring the 5 loaves and 2 fish to Jesus. The hidden law requires participation. Heaven responds to faith in action, not wishes in silence. And then there are your words. Do you realize the power of what you say over your finances? So many curse their own provision with their tongue. They say, I'm always broke. I can't afford it. Nothing works for me. And heaven weeps because the law cannot work against your confession. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Your harvest listens to your words. If you keep saying you are broke, your harvest shrinks. But if you align your mouth with the word of God, declaring, my God supplies all my needs according to his riches in glory. I am blessed and not cursed. I walk in abundance. I lack no good thing. You release angels into motion. You release provision to find you. You open the doors of heaven's supply. Child of God, you are not called to live in lack. You are not destined for poverty. You are not created to merely survive. You are chosen to live in the overflow of divine provision, but overflow is not accidental. Overflow is the result of faith obeyed, words spoken, seeds sown, and hearts aligned. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. Do not mock your little seed. Do not belittle your small paycheck, because the God who multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands can take your little and make it much. But he asks one thing: will you trust him with what you have? Will you stop waiting until you have more and start activating the law where you are? The miracle is never in what you don't have. The miracle is always in what you do have placed in the hands of God. I remember seasons when I gave my last dollar, not out of compulsion, but out of trust. I remember when I spoke life over my empty wallet, declaring that it would not stay empty. I remember when I sowed seeds of time, service, and prayer, even when I had no money to sow. And I stand as living proof. The law works. The hidden law of finances is as real as gravity. You may not see it, but it is pulling, working, manifesting, if only you will believe. Right now you may feel the heaviness of lack pressing against you, but I declare over you, your season of struggle is not permanent. Your days of wondering how ends will meet are not eternal. There is a shift waiting. There is a door ready to open. There is a law waiting to be activated. All it takes is one step of faith, one seed sown, one word spoken in alignment with God's promises. Lift up your head. Do not let shame weigh you down. Do not let fear choke your faith. You are a child of the King, and the King does not abandon his own. He is a shepherd who ensures his sheep lack nothing. He is a father who knows your needs before you even ask. He is the God who rained manna in the wilderness, who brought water from a rock, who filled nets with fish until they broke. If he did it then, he can do it now. He has not changed. His law has not failed. His provision has not run dry. The hidden law of finances is not hidden from you. It is hidden for you. It is a treasure buried in the soil of obedience, waiting for the shovel of faith to dig it up. Will you dig? Will you sow? Will you speak? Will you believe? Because if you will step into a dimension of supernatural provision that the world cannot explain, but heaven cannot deny. And when it comes, do not forget, the law works not just for you, but through you. Your provision is meant to bless others. Your overflow is meant to lift the broken, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, fund the gospel, and change the world. You are blessed to be a blessing. You are prospered to be a provider. You are supplied to be a channel of supply. So today, make a decision. Say in your heart, I will no longer live as a victim of lack. I will no longer let fear dictate my giving. I will no longer let negative words choke my harvest. I will activate the law. I will trust my God. I will sow, I will speak, I will believe, and I will receive. And as you do, watch what happens. Watch as doors open. Watch as opportunities flow. Watch as supernatural provision overtakes you. Because the law is real. The hidden law of finances is not a theory, it is truth. And truth, when believed, sets you free. Step into it, activate it, live it, and you will never be the same again.